Hi YouTube, this is Darkon633, and today I bring a review of the Kamen Rider Drive Deluxe Shift Type Neck Set. Now, I haven't been completely honest in the past. Some of the stuff that I've reviewed for my channel here actually belongs to my brother, which I will link in the description below, since he also has a YouTube channel under the name Dark Emissary 617. Some of the Transformers and the various other things, including some of the Kamen Rider stuff, not many, but some of them actually belong to him, and I'm sorry that I've not been able to say the truth there until this point, but I just wanted to get that out of the way. The next thing I'm going to say is, thank you so much for subscribing to me, since I've actually hit over a 300 subscriber count, and I appreciate those who have been watching my channel up to this point for helping me get a higher subscriber count in the last couple of months. But anyways, we'll now be looking at the set itself. Now, what's interesting about this set is that a couple seasons has passed since the last technical, we're going to give you a gimmick of the next season in the set. Technically, the other set would be the Drive Lock Seat set, but Drive is the current season when that was released, and at the same time, Kamen was the previous season, so I don't count that in this equation because it wasn't the following season, and rather it was the current one. Now, we're finally getting to the next one, which has an icon in this set. And this icon is the Newton icon. Now, because the Ghost stuff is not out yet, this doesn't really serve any purpose but to just be a placeholder until getting the next gimmick. I won't be getting the driver, but most likely my brother will be. So he is actually going to allow me to review them, like several items in the past he's done. But anyways, we'll now take the three contents of the box. We have the Shift Show Dead Heat key. I forgot exactly what this was called, but it does activate in the mock driver to allow Drive to turn into Cho Dead Heat in the film. Now, what's interesting about this shift car is that this one is actually two different types. We have Dark Drive and Drive Type Special, if I remember correctly, which will give him like a more yellow and goldish trim, as you can see right on the box there. He does have a new helmet, and most of his colors changed, so he looks really nice. We also have Dark Drive here, Cho Dead Heat, and both the regular Ghost form and the Newton form. Back here, we have some of the contents that activates from the different things, including the fact that you obviously need the Ghost Driver to activate the gimmicks there. But anyways, we'll take a look at the functions of each thing. But before that, we'll take a look at the icon, which is the new gimmick on the following season. So you can see, it's got an eye design inside currently, and that's pretty much one of the other things that these things do. Because in the show, when you look at the preview video, these things blink, so it kind of go with the whole gimmick of the eyes and all that. It kind of makes it look kind of creepy, and I think it's kind of a cool gimmick. I just don't really think I really got into it. But anyways, it has four different sides, so here we go. Here's the regular eye, the number that is associated with the form, the helmet design of the Newton form. Well, not helmet design per se, but it is kind of. It's got a picture of the apple there, from, if knowing history for Isaac Newton. And then, if I remember correctly, this is actually the finisher side. So, there you go with the four different sides. And this is relatively good size. Fits in my palm pretty well, and it does have a barcode in the back here for scanners and so on. But anyways, we'll now bring out the other belts and various other things so we can hear the sounds of them associated with the gimmicks that's in this set. I'll be back. Anyways, we're back. We'll now activate the several gimmicks, starting with, obviously, the main belt of the series, the Drive Driver. First, we will go on to the two forms here. So here we go. We'll start with Drive's form. And I think that sounds really awesome. Well, now I'll go on to the other sounds that this can activate. So here we go. So that's cool so far. And now we'll activate the finisher. There we go. Sometimes it doesn't activate. I don't know why it does that. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to go onto the dark drive side, and unfortunately, this side isn't as impressive, because what happens on this side is that down here, it actually has some detailing inside this part of the shift car. Now, while this side can activate the different shift sounds and everything, this side, on the other hand, is a solid piece. So, unfortunately, dark drive just doesn't have as many features as the regular special drive here. But anyways, we'll now activate dark drive now. Now that sound could technically be activated using the single bikes, but the full henshin sound can only be activated, if I remember correctly, with the dark drive shift car. So that's the full drive type next henshin sound and so on. But anyways, because we can't activate the shift part of it, we can only activate the finisher. So there you go. So yeah, that's not really a finisher since it can't activate the whole ship race piece and so on. So it is a bit unfortunate that it can't really do anything. But anyways, what's also interesting is that the key can also activate on the drive driver as well. So we'll activate that. And it looks kind of awkward, but you need to slide this part in first before anything else. Here we go. Now, as you can see on the drive driver, it says the English name technically, because when you put it in the Mach driver, it still says Cho Dead Heat. But for the drive driver, for some reason, it actually fully says Super Dead Heat. So that's kind of interesting what they did there. Now we'll activate the button. So that's it for using it in the drive driver itself, which is pretty cool. We'll now be moving on to the other features that you can use with the other electronic gimmicks. And now we're back with the Mach driver. Since the Cho Dead Heat key activates this specifically, we will now put this in first. And for some reason it shows up as the signal by shift car. Now this sound is actually associated with Chase's henshin theme as well, and unfortunately I wasn't able to get a hold of that set or the individual ones released in the gashapons and all that, so this is the only way I can activate the sounds. Here we go. Now it makes a lot of sense. It activates the pretty much the same sound because Cho Dead Heat is basically Machin Chaser turned red and drives helmet, so it makes a lot of sense that it has a similar sound. We'll activate the several button combo. And now we'll activate the finisher. So unfortunately, that's also a generic finisher with the Mach driver, but I still think it's really cool that they made a gimmick so that they can allow Drive to actually use the Mach driver at one point. Anyways, and I'll slide this out and go to this. Now, if I remember correctly, both of them, which I'm going to turn that off for now, both of these will activate different sounds, if I remember correctly. So let's see if I remember correctly here. We'll slide this inside first for Dark Drive. Now, for some reason, this reads as Mach, and I don't know why it's like that. I think they have a similar end, but that is weird that it does do the regular Mach, so that means all the other ones will be the same, so... Now... And now, we'll go on to the other side. So flip this over and turn it in this way. So as you can see, it's now activated a different sound. So now we'll go on to the several button combo. And then the finisher. So that's pretty cool so far. Now we'll be moving on to the brake gunner, which I'll be back to show. And we're back. Unfortunately, similar to the other shipped cars and signal bikes, the brake gunner really doesn't have much to say, so we'll just quickly get these out of the way. We'll now go on to this one first. There we go.
Drive system.
Now go on to the other side. So, I guess it's kind of cool that we have both the drive and a Mach system to go inside the brake gunner, but that's about it here. The key can activate too, and unfortunately it does the similar thing. So there we go. So that's pretty much it for the set. Now, I still think the set is worth it. I got this set for around, I'm going to say it in yen this time to make it easier, 1,500 yen from AmiAmi, and I think it's definitely worth that price. Now, while the set itself might not have the most amount of gimmicks like the other signal bikes do and ship cars, that's pretty much what it is for the driveline. You pretty much needed like a whole chunk of several different of the signal bikes and or ship cars to have almost the maximum amount of play value that you can get with the belts and so on. However, most of it is remedied with the ship type Trideron. So you didn't need to get all the signal bikes except for maybe the Henshin ones. But other than that, I still think it's a worthwhile set to get a hold of, and I'm very pleased with the set. The icon is pretty cool, though, as I mentioned earlier, I'm just not really into it, so I'm going to leave that gimmick to my brother anyways. So I still think it's a pretty neat addition to any Drive fans collection, and we'll move on from there. This might be the final review for my Drive reviews, unless I get a hold of maybe the other movie set, which is the one that contains the Drive lock seat and the fruit car. But for now, this is probably going to be my last set, unless they release some kind of other crazy gimmick for some movie down the line. Anyways, please comment, subscribe, and check out Hirotaku and the Gideon blog for all your latest in Drive, Kamen Riders, and all throughout Tokus and Heroes. Also, please check me out on Twitter under Darkon633. Please check down the other channels down below, including the WW Podcast, my friends' channels, and also my brother's channel. But for now, I'll be seeing you on YouTube. Bye.